In Acts chapter 15, verse 1, it says that some men came down from Judea and were teaching the brothers, unless you are circumcised according to the custom of Moses, you cannot be saved. Almost a faith-shaking statement. What do you think about that?
If you get this one wrong, then the rest don't even matter.
Right.
So it's interesting how they put some really strong limitations on what salvation is.
Right.
To me, it sounds like legalism.
Initially here, these people who came from Judea, they don't even seem to be believers. They just seem to be people who are just trying to stir it up. They just seem to be people who want to make a mess out of things, agitators, which we even have today, people from the outside who are just trying to throw shots at the church. And clearly that's what was going on here. But as you jump down a few verses, you see that Paul and Barnabas with some others from Antioch, they go to Jerusalem. They figure, well, we need to go talk to the apostles. We need to go talk to the elders of the church in Jerusalem, see if we can find some answers. And as they get there, in verse 5, they see something very similar takes place once again. It says here that some believers, now it's very interesting that Luke makes sure to point that out, but it says some believers who belonged to the party of the Pharisees rose up and said, it is necessary to circumcise them and to order them to keep the law of Moses. Now, they're saying exactly the same thing as the agitators who had originally arrived in Antioch, but these clearly here, these are people who, like you said, who probably have been maybe, I guess you could say, bound to some kind of legalistic code, some kind of, there's a set of rules that you have to adhere by to be in fellowship with the church.
There are some things that are negotiables, you know, the type of music you might listen, how you dress, and different things like that. But there are some things that are just non-negotiables.
Right.
So in this case, they were so bound to the law because they were used to, right? It's a tradition they grew up with.
Right.
So they took it as this must be how you're saved. But at least they're willing to figure it out together.
Right.
Like, okay, let's just have some discernment. So they're willing to have the conversations.
Right.
But I met a lot of legalistic people that are not willing even to go that step.
Right.
They're just stuck in their ways, and that's how it's gonna be.
Yeah, they missed the most important point. That God's not looking somehow to, I guess you could say, regulate our behavior or to change the way that we look on the outside. He wants to change our heart.
I believe that legalism suffocates faith.
Yep.
It doesn't really get to the heart of it.
Yep.
And churches that tend to be very legalistic in their traditions, stuck just on how you look, how you dress, the things you do, at one point, even the maybe young adults in that church or the kids, they're gonna run as far as they can from that church because they don't really understand the gracious nature that actually Christ brings into this world. It doesn't mean that, oh, I'm free to sin. It has nothing to do with that.
I hope this will maybe whet your appetite to dig into the scriptures with us this coming Sunday at the International Church. We hope to see you there on Sunday at 10:30 as we take a look at what took place in Acts chapter 15.
Don't forget to subscribe so you can receive notifications when we post something new. And please meet our new little family members.
Yes, and they might come and meet you as well.
This is Garfield.
And Ponchik.
So, don't forget to subscribe.